My dad died a tragic death. It was toward the end of winter, when everything started to melt in the day and freeze at night. As usual, he left for work early in the morning. A semi-truck coming onto the highway hit some black ice, and it was over. My dad's truck was caught between the semi and the divider. It had been crushed to the size of a smart car. My dad's body was mangled and barely recognizable. FUBAR, or fucked up beyond all recognition, as we call it in the military. I was pretty shook up when I saw pictures sent to me from my brothers. That was the worst thing I'd seen in my life, and it was only pictures. Pieces and parts of my dad's lifeless heap hanging out and about. I didn't think anything could ever top it, until my dad started to visit me at night. Before I explain more, here's a little background about me. I am Hmong, and we believe in animism/shamanism. It's a religion based on spirits, nature, and ancestors. We often sacrifice animals during harvest time, and for good luck/deferral of evil. I have 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I was in the middle of the bunch. Before I joined the military, I was a bad kid. I ran with a gang and stole, fought, and drank alcohol like I was cool. The usual stuff a lot of Asian teenagers did. I remember I stole my dad's gold necklace so I could show it off at school. I wore it for a couple days until he started asking for it. Then eventually I slipped up and he saw me wearing it as I came home from school. He scolded me quite a bit, but being rebellious, I yelled back and ran off to my room. I knew it was wrong, and only later did I realize he wasn't mad at me for stealing. He was mad because I lied to his face. But still, what else do dads do better than forgive their kids, even when they do something wrong? I do it all the time myself. My wife always says I'm too forgiving of the kids, daughter and son. So even though he didn't say it, I knew he had forgiven me. One of my most favorite moments with my dad was when he took me to McDonald's just because. It was just me and him, even though my brothers and sisters were home as well. He only took me. I felt like his favorite, which may be why he was visiting me and not any of my other siblings or mom. I went home for the funeral. It was like any other. There were lots of family, drinking, and food. People were crying and talking about memories about my dad. We buried him and said our final goodbyes, then went home to my mom's house. Most of us stayed till evening with a few siblings sleeping overnight. My wife, kids, and I included. My mom brought out a few belongings of my dad's, and I noticed a necklace I had stolen years ago was in the pile she brought out. I asked my mom about it, and to my surprise, she said that my dad was planning to give it to me, but I had left for the military before he could. Then they had forgotten about it all these years. She also said it was a gift from my grandma to my dad when they were back in Laos/Thailand. So she insisted that my dad still would have wanted to keep it and shoved it into my hands. I went ahead and put it on. The next few days came and went, and life was starting to get back to normal. My leave was ending soon, so I had to fly back to California with my family. The first day we got back, it felt like I was finally getting some fresh air. Thoughts about my dad started to fade, but toward bedtime, my mind was flooded with memories of him. I told my wife she could go to bed without me, and so she tucked the kids in bed while I tucked into some Jack Daniels and played some video games to help get my mind off of things. Around midnight, I had drunk about half the bottle and started to feel tired, so I walked upstairs to the bedroom and flopped on the bed. About a minute after I got into bed, I fell asleep. I awoke sometime later feeling like someone was standing next to my bedside. I thought it was my son trying to ask me if he could sleep in the bed with us, but it wasn't. When I realized it wasn't my son, I also realized I was paralyzed. I experienced sleep paralysis many times before, so I was used to the feeling and knew it would pass. I thought, great, I'm getting sat on, a term we use to call the experience. The room was dark, but this figure was even darker. It just stood there, and I could feel it staring at me even though I didn't know if it had eyes or not. Eventually, after what felt like hours, the feeling faded. I looked over to my wife, and she was dead asleep still. I checked my watch, and it was only a bit past 3 a.m. I dozed back off to sleep with my back facing the edge of the bed, in case it came back, so I could at least not be looking in that direction. I thought to myself. I told my wife about it in the morning, trying to scare her, as I usually do, but more so to help put me at ease as well. Laughing at her being scared helped me feel less frightened. The following night, nothing happened. In the morning, I returned to work. It wasn't until the fourth night I was back that the figure came again. It did the same thing, stood by my bedside, paralyzing me and having a staring contest. I remember thinking that it was probably just a coincidence, but then on the fifth night something even worse happened. The figure came again, but this time in the middle of our staring contest. I felt another presence outside my bedroom door. I could hear the floor creak, and as I felt it coming closer, my field of view shifted, almost as if I was having an out-of-body experience. I felt that I had sat up in bed, but could see my physical body laying down. Still, I tried hard to focus on the doorway. In fact, I couldn't look anywhere else, and as my eyes focused more and more, a head had slid on the carpet past the doorway. I couldn't see, but I felt that the head had cuts and bruises all over. Its skin was a rotten, drooping mess. The tongue was sticking out like a dead cartoon character, but in a more sinister way. No sooner than it passed the door, I felt my dad's necklace start heating up on my skin. The figure standing next to me snapped its head toward the direction of the sliding head, and we all froze. Now it was a staring contest between both figures while I was paralyzed, only able to move my eyes and stare at the two terrors before me. I felt my wife shift in bed, and the paralysis fell. I was back in my body, scared to death, and so I got up after peeking through the corners of my eyes, making sure nothing was actually there, and turned on the master bathroom light. I kept it on and stayed up until morning time. When my wife woke up, she saw that I was acting a little out of place and asked me what was wrong. I told her I had the dream again, but it was a bit worse, sparing her from the details, not want to scare her since I was genuinely scared this time. She told me I should call my mom and ask her about it, and so I did. My mom laughed when I told her the details and about how the necklace heated up. She then proceeded to tell me, "Son, it's probably your father watching over and protecting you." We talked a bit more and came to the conclusion that maybe something followed me, which was a sliding head, and that my dad, who was a dark standing figure, was just there to protect me since I was wearing his necklace. After that, she also told me that if it kept happening, then we should maybe try to get a shaman to come and help. The following night, I woke up but nothing was there and I wasn't paralyzed, so I just fell back asleep. The night after, though, it happened again. This time the sliding head crawled more, showing its neck and part of its left shoulder. Its neck was twisted and bent, and the shoulder seemed like it had been jammed up, almost touching its ear. The necklace had the same warm feeling. This went on and on for the next couple of nights with my dad's spirit standing next to me as the sliding figure showed itself more and more each night. As I saw more and more, the necklace burned hotter and hotter. Several nights had passed, and the figure was now completely visible, its body torn and ripped all over. Some parts were completely missing, showing rotting flesh and bones. Its legs were also bent all over. The left knee was sitting under the stomach, while the leg itself was wrapped around its right ribs with its feet in the air. It looked like it took extreme effort for it to crawl inch by inch. Nights went on where it was just both figures staring at each other. The more I saw, the more I was petrified, but by the second week or so, I had gotten used to the feeling. I remembered one night when I finally fell asleep that I heard a traditional bamboo flute playing. Afterwards, I heard a little girl's voice, and then the sleep paralysis started again, and both figures continued staring at each other. As usual, I was only able to stare at the dark figure and the sliding heap of meat. I finally caved in and decided to call a shaman. My mom had given me the contact information of a relative who lived in Los Angeles, California. She was nice enough to come down and do the ceremony for a modest fee. When she had completed the ceremony, my world turned upside down. "Son, the person you saw in your dreams was not your dad standing next to you. It is an evil spirit." Confused, I asked her what she meant. I felt my dad was there protecting me. I said. That was when she replied, "The one standing is not your dad. Your dad is the one with the torn body. Your dad was the one crawling on the ground." Everything then clicked. I was originally afraid of the figure standing next to me, and for good reason. My dad's spirit was a disfigured body, the shape in which he was when he died. Although as scary as he'd been, that was the way his spirit had left his body. He had only been trying to protect me from a spirit that followed me, as torn and broken as he was. When he entered my dreams, his necklace warmed up, and now I understood that he was there to protect me. Even after his death, the shaman assured me that the spirit standing next to me had been looking to take my spirit with him, but my dad stopped him every time he tried. She also said it was difficult being that my dad's spiritual body was in a mess. But if not for the necklace, my dad would not have had enough spiritual connection to protect me. After the news, the shaman conducted a sacrificial ritual to redirect the evil spirit. That specific evil spirit would no longer be able to find me, but since then, I continue to have sleep paralysis from time to time, as she explained that my spirit had been permanently marked